Imagine brushing your teeth with a wet rag on a stick, only to discover that everyone else is using an electric toothbrush. Well, that's how discovering these 5 AI tools made me feel. So I've been using Premiere Pro for the past 8+ years, and I still feel like a total dummy. You know those, man, I can't believe I didn't know that moment? You know, like when you finally find out your girlfriend's pregnant and you head over to the family doctor and he explains to you that babies actually come out of girls' and not their. So today we're going to cover some super easy to use features that will speed up your edit, freeing up your time to learn more about things like perhaps the female anatomy. In 2017, on my first paid filming gig, I made the classic noob mistake and shot everything handheld. Wow, Carl, I thought you really screwed this one up. Do I have to go and reshoot everything now? Luckily, I discovered Warp Stabilizer, the classic tool that will fix your jittery or shaky footage.
Stay out of my territory.
And for those that have used it before, I'm also going to cover what settings I use to get the best results and avoid that kind of weirdness. The best way to explain how it all works is to just add it to some shaky footage, like this. You'll notice it automatically gets to work using the default settings, which may be all good, but most of the time I like to adjust the following. I keep the stabilized and crop to scale turned on. Then I lower the smoothness down to 10. Next, I switch off subspace warp, which kind of does a weird stretchy thing that morphs all the edges of the image, and change this to position, scale, and rotation, which gives it a more natural feel. A good tip is not to apply warp stabilizer to the whole clip. If there's a particularly bad spot, apply it to just that section, and then match up the other sections by matching the scale from the warp stabilized clip. Once you use this, you'll start to see it used all the time in other videos, even in Hollywood level productions. So that was a quick and classic tool that's aged much better than my athletics career. But let's not get stuck in the past and take a look at one of the most recently updated AI tools in Premiere. As George Lucas once said, sound is half of the picture. And in my humble opinion, bad sound will let your edit down way more than poor visuals. The problem is mixing audio is a massive skill in itself to learn, but luckily for us, Adobe has just updated their Essential Sound, which can clean up and mix your audio with just a few clicks. For this video, we're going to look at 3 areas. Let's start by navigating over to the Essential Sound panel. Let's say you have recorded some rough dialogue that needs polishing. We'll tag the audio clip as dialogue. This will open up heaps of different effects and specific settings to fixing dialogue. Then we'll click on this magic button, Enhance. Now the AI will process your audio and manipulate your audio track to give it the most cleanest sound. Like my uncle at Christmas, Premiere can overdo it, which will result in a boxy kind of robotic sound. If this is the case, dial back the mix amount and try again. Next, let's look at the tool, which is like an AI DJ, mixing them beats with your sick dialogue, so the music doesn't overpower your incessant chattering. This time, let's click on our music track and tag it as music. Click on ducking, not an autocorrect error, but the technical name for this effect. Then click Generate Keyframes. Premiere will analyze your audio tracks and create keyframes on your music track to fade the volume out when you're talking. If you get any weird little blips, just reduce the sensitivity and click Generate Keyframes again. Lastly, the tool that saved me, oh man, an unbelievable amount of time. Before this tool, I would spend hours looking for the right track to fit my clips or start editing the actual audio tracks to fit them. But now, the Remix tool just does it all for you. And it does it pretty dang well. Head over to your toolbar and hold and select the Remix tool. To extend or shorten your music clip, just hover over the end and drag away. The AI will kick into gear to recompose a new track and Shazamo! That's some editing wizardry. If If you're a major social media influencer like myself and want to repurpose horizontal videos to vertical ones, then this will save the day. Auto Reframe will automatically track you, like my millions of fans, and move your original around to always have you center frame. As you can see, we have a vertical video that we're going to pop our regular shot footage into. Drag that footage into the timeline. Now let's head over to the effects and search Auto Reframe. Let's drag that guy onto our clip, click Analyze, and there you have it. Social media stardom. Now, nobody wants their footage to look as bland as a British dinner plate. So it's time we spice things up a bit by automatically fixing the look of our footage and adding some cinematic style. As you've guessed it, we have two AI features that will help improve the look of your footage under our old friend, the Lumetri tab, or I believe in French, the Lumetri tab. But first up, let's automatically fix the color in our footage. Under basic correction, we're going to click Auto, and as you can see, it's pretty subtle. That's because Premiere is just trying to balance your image, like making sure there's enough saturation or shadow, or the Walter White's a Walter White enough. You can play with the intensity too if you want to push or reduce the color adjustment. For some footage, this might be a good starting place to further correct your footage using the individual sliders. Next, it's time to grab your balaclava as we're going to steal a cinematic look. Head down to the color wheels and match drop down, click on comparison, which will give you these two screens. Grab a still shot from the movie you want to borrow the color grade from and drop it into your timeline. Scrub along the reference video until you find it and then hit apply match, and it will apply the look to your footage. Now, from my experience, it works best on footage that is shot in similar conditions. For instance, an outdoor reference would work better with your outdoor footage instead of an indoor one. But, you know, play around and you might end up with something pretty cool anyway. Tired of having a boring studio and don't mind contributing to the AI apocalypse? Then you need Generative Fill. We're going to use this classic art of matte painting and apply it to our videos. This can extend and manipulate kind of anything. Just use that beautiful imagination of yours. Here's a quick overview of how to use Generative Fill for background replacement. Grab a quick still frame from your video. Open that bad boy up in Photoshop on a canvas twice the original size. Select the white area and a little bit of the original image as reference. Click Generative and Generate. Now we have a wide shot. Nice. We can add whatever elements we want, but leaving an untouched area for our character to move. Once we are finished, save and bring back into Premiere Pro. Mask out the original video, drag in the new background and scale that to 50%. Scale the original video to 50% and shazam, a new environment. Comp in some VFX elements or elephants and some camera movement and you have yourself a VFX shot. So now you know how to use AI to speed up your edits, but what if I told you the real power is in a super simple 6-point framework developed by a famous editor? If you want to unlock your true potential of your edits, watch this video right here.
Oh, don't you worry, Sticky. I can never quit on you.